Welcome to the ARM School programme. This video is taken from our teacher training programme on edX.org called Teaching with Physical Computing. Whether you're new to teaching computing or a specialist, this programme will set you up on a path to becoming an expert in delivering technology-enabled project-based learning in the classroom. This module provides an overview of the learning theories landscape and its connections with teaching practice. It makes connections between theory, framework, approaches and strategies. It also clarifies the language and terminology we use when discussing these issues.
In a previous module, we identified the three orthodoxies. These are cognitivism, constructivism, and behaviorism. We also identified the influencing psychologists. This module provides an overview of the learning theories landscape and the connections with teaching practice. It makes the connection between theory, frameworks, approaches, and strategies, and clarifies the language and terminology we use when discussing the issues. This is our map of the learning landscape. The term epistemology refers to learning theories, knowing how we know, in the same way the term pedagogy refers to teaching strategies and approaches. Within epistemology, there are currently three orthodoxies: cognitivism, constructivism, and behaviorism, with other learning theories that relate to each one. Within pedagogy, there are three main approaches: teacher-centred, subject or context-centred, and learner-centred. On the left of the map, there runs a continuum between epistemology, the theoretical, and pedagogy, the practical. This continuum can also be described as running from academic through to professional. On the right of the map, the continuum is the same, but described in terms of understanding through to doing. At the bottom, there is understanding of theories, passing through representation by frameworks, to the practical, the seeing or doing of teaching. These two continuums help locate items in the learning landscape. The higher on the map, the more likely we are able to see the activity or do the activity. The activity is more likely to be of professional interest, i.e. used in classroom practice. If we can't see or do the activity, it might be represented by frameworks which guide the way we teach. These frameworks include Bloom's taxonomy, Danielson's depth of knowledge, Kolb's cycle of experiential learning, and many others. These frameworks help us to understand the theoretical learning process and to plan practical approaches and strategies that can be more effective. At the lower edge of the map are the purely theoretical representations of learning: cognitivism, constructivism, and behaviorism. Constructivism is concerned with what we understand and know. Cognitivism considers how we understand and know. Behaviorism is concerned with the changes that occur through learning. At the upper edge of the map are the ways in which we organise teaching: teacher-centred, subject or context-centred, and learner-centred. This is an important point to make about the map. There is no connection between the left to right order of cognitivism, constructivism, and behaviorism, and the left to right order of teacher, subject, and learner-centred. For example, the cognitivist theory informs our understanding of threshold concepts, but these are taught through trial and improvement approaches which are learner-centred. Alternatively, across the map, behaviorism suggests a task analysis approach leading to strategies which are teacher-centred, such as differentiated questioning. There is no connection between the left to right order of cognitivism, constructivism, and behaviorism, and the left to right order of teacher, subject, and learner-centred. So, in conclusion, when considering the learning theories and the frameworks that represent these theories, be imaginative about their interpretation. and try to see if they can be adapted to suit the context and subject of your teaching. From the big three orthodoxies of cognitivism, constructivism and behaviorism come other theories of learning and a range of frameworks that help interpret or make practicable the theory. These frameworks are valuable in different teaching contexts or for teaching different subjects. Each has a contribution to our understanding of the learning process, and, importantly, each guides the development of teaching approaches and classroom strategies. Before we consider these teaching approaches and classroom strategies, we will look in more detail at the learning theories in a later module.
To learn more, head over to edX.org and search for project-based learning and enrol for free.